I think we're on. All right, what's up, dudes? I think I'm live. I'm pretty sure I am. We're on. Yeah, there we go. I can't hear myself and see myself. I'll move a few screens around here. What's up? How's it going? Live event number 1. All right, move that over there. Move this over here. And here we are. There we go. What's up, dudes? I was just watching 2 seconds ago the Belmont Stakes. Did you watch American Pharoah win the Triple Crown? I mean, that first time in 37 years, right? That was awesome. You know, it's like you want to be part of a moment, much like this live broadcast. Now, how's the guitar sounding? Is it getting a little squishy at all? Am I in studio? I might not be in studio. Hold on. If it's getting squishy, which it might be. Yeah, hold on. There we go. That should improve the audio. It shouldn't go squishy on you. What's up? So how about that Belmont Stakes, huh? I could not be the only one who saw it. Oh, I see some people saying, yeah, they saw it, yeah. Music is greater than horse racing, but, you know, the funniest part was the American Pharoah team. You know, obviously they get their own, like, corral where they can, like, hang out. And, you know, the camera's constantly going to them because if their horse wins, then they win the Triple Crown, the first one in 37 years. So, they're all, the whole focus basically is on, on them. They cut to them. And there's the Burger King standing behind him, like really tall dude. It's like a little quiet. And the king turns towards the camera and goes like, I mean, man. Too funny. What's up? Look at all these people, man. Now there's a buzz, monitor hiss. Uh-oh. I'm not hearing it through my headphones. Yeah, you getting a buzz, a monitor hiss? Is that true? Uh-oh. Just the guitar stuff? Yeah. Is it worse when I go to, let me go to, is it worse just by putting the distortion on? I don't know if that's better, worse, better and worse. The Champions League final. Is that horse racing as well? I really don't know. I barely know horse racing other than the Triple Crown. That's what Josh says he doesn't hear hiss. Johnny's 13 says, nah, sounds great, man. I'm assuming that's how Johnny sounds. Robert, how's it going? How's it going? 420 buzz. So that's a different type of buzz, dude. Now I know what zip means. All right, what patch are you using? This is called Plexi and Plate, but I think this is one of my own. I'm pretty sure. It's the Tweed. That's the Tweed amp. All right, there is a buzz, but it's not annoying or distracting. Yeah. I'm hearing just a general overall, but, it's so tough down. My house was built in 1930. Though we have a new box, a lot of the wiring itself is pretty old, and the particular outlet that a lot of this is plugged into is wrapped in cloth. That's not a good sign. You know? Oh, thank you. Nice haircut. Yeah, it happens. So where y'all from? Oh man, we had a crazy weekend, super busy. Kids, baseball game, softball game. You know, please more Steve Marchena. I love Steve Marchena. He's awesome. Yeah, the AC/DC shirt. This is, you know, it's actually, if you think about it, they can do it without giving a copyright to AC/DC because it doesn't really say AC/DC, though it does, right? Kind of clever. And this was something on Facebook. I was like on it, and it was like a suggested post. And for once, I said, I am going to buy that. And I purchased it. Scotland. I got some Scottish in me. Norway, nice. Toronto, Canada. Michigan, nice. Let's see here. Who do we have? Rhode Island, that's close. Wales, awesome. I got actually a little Welsh in me too. A little bit. A little German too. Read some Sweden. I don't have any Swedish in me. Sorry. Warsaw, Poland, nice. Wow. Oh, you're up late. Thank you. Thank you for staying up. That's like England, but living in Ireland. Nice. Ohio, Ontario, Finland. Northeast of Chattanooga. New York City. New York City. Germany. Guten Tag. Connecticut, Wales, England, Stoke in England. Nice. Oregon. It's the best way to set up a Floyd Rose. Dude, we ain't got, it's only a 2-hour video. Philadelphia, Western New York. Greetings from England. I love England. That's why I did it at 7 p.m. Normally I do it at midnight, but that'd be 5 a.m. England. Alabama, Netherlands, but soon be back in Thailand. Boy, you're a world traveler. I don't think I've been much out of the States other than Costa Rica. Play some AC/DC. LA, New York, South Carolina, Brisbane, Australia, Sweden, New York, Long Island, Utah, Orlando. So is anyone else not playing? It's not. It's really yours isn't playing? It seems to be playing for people. No? Is it not? Is it already screwed up? It says it's broadcasting. Stoughton? Dude. Nice. Stoughton. Oh, man. Let's go. Winchendon. Kentucky. Blackpool, England. Nice. Australia. What's your favorite Randy Rhoads song? Oh, my God. Dude. It's like a Sophie's Choice. How could you possibly choose that? Oh, there's so many. I mean, part of me wants to say, like, his solo with Mr. Crowley was just so amazing, you know, but then there's stuff on the second album that's so great. Oh, man, dude. I don't think I could. I mean, part of me would also even just say, like, the solo in, you know, Crazy Train is just so perfect, right? Or maybe I just think it's that because I love it so much and I've known it for so long. But England, AC/DC song. Right on. Yeah, there you go. Let's see, greetings from Mexico. What's up? I'm not Phil, I'm Steve. Play some Metallica. That's how much Metallica I know. Good. Something like that. I probably have to go to the distortion. God, you put me on the spot. Did anybody notice that this is a new guitar? Nobody? Nobody yet. Greece, what's up? Long Island. Warsaw, awesome. Nova Scotia. London. Yeah, fellow from London called. Everything I know about England, I learned from the Cornetta trilogy. That's like asking your favorite VH song. It's like, please. Or your favorite Stevie Ray Vaughan song. It's kind of hard. I just got done playing the Crazy Train solo. That's awesome. Ireland, what's up, dude? Mr. Crowley for my final assessment in college. Dude, did you major? Ozzy was my major. Hi, Scott Grove. I think you got the wrong channel, bro. Though admittedly, we are roughly the same age, I think. S-Series Ibanez, yeah, it's an S540. It's a 91. A mahogany body with a maple rosewood, thingy. We can hardly see the guitar. Yeah, I could probably bring that down here, maybe. Oops, sorry about that. Oops, sorry. There we go. Better? A little bit, maybe. All right. Hello, Cleveland. What's your favorite guitar you own? Oh, man. God. That'd be hard, too. I'd have to say maybe my Ibanez, like RG560. We just have such a history, That's like an old, that's more than a friend. That's like a brother, right? Been with them your whole life. Russia, Siberia. Wow. That's got to be in the early AM. It's thank you for being up. It's an S540, yeah. Just picked up a 540R for $200, dude. That is a sweet deal. That's an amazing deal. Right now I'm playing TH2. I'm playing through the Soloist, but I turned the delay off. I mean, let's not go crazy, right? Yeah, this guitar is amazing. So check this out. That's a those guitar listed, all stock for like $949, and you had to buy a case with it. So it's another $129. I think it was like $1078 was the list, and you figure 20%, maybe 30% off on sale. You're talking in the $850, maybe $750 range, for it new, and that's in 1991. So you'd have to convert $91 to present. It wasn't that short ago. It's actually like 20-something years ago. So right. So after you convert that, you're probably up there. Maybe in the $1,200-$1,300 range. But that's a Duncan Little 59, right? And that's a Duncan 59. That's an old one wound in the 80s by MJ. And I bought this guitar off a Guitar Center used for $249. $249. It's like, that's why it's like when you see them, you gotta pounce like right on. I was like, what? Because if it wasn't if it showed up and it was junk, I had it shipped to my local store. If it showed up and it was junk, I would have just, brought it back to the store, or even not even taken it home. I would have opened it up and said, oh, you know what, this doesn't meet my eco needs or whatever, and just return it. Don't even leave the store with it. Apex. Just ordered a Duncan JB 59. I love the 59, It's brighter than the JB, Thanks, Mr. J. Cow. Thoughts on Summer NAMM? I probably won't be going to it. I've never been to the Summer NAMM. They did a Summer NAMM around here one time, and if they did that, I'd go to it, but there's no way I'm going down to Nashville. I just have to, one trip. And I do that under protest. 5 sweet Van Halen riffs. let me, that's one. That's so easy, right? You know. Play that one like all the time. I want to do like that. Gotta work. Admittedly, I have to work on it. All right, give me a mulligan on that one, all right? Toledo, Ohio. What's up, dude? Have you tried the dime bucker? I haven't, but I'm sure it's good, you know. It seems to be very popular, and people tend not to buy stuff. If it just on the name alone, it in the end, it's got to be pretty good, or people just won't buy it. I'll give you an example. The first Jeff Beck guitar, the neck was like a baseball bat, and you know, they had kind of trouble selling them. And when they came out with the redo, they made the neck a lot smaller, just to be, you know, appealing to a greater number of people that don't want a neck that chunky. Yeah, I went to Steel Panther. I thought it was awesome. Play some Zach. Geez, I don't know if I know much Zach. I was sort of off to school when Zach joined Ozzy. Thoughts on Joe Bonamassa? Incredible guitar player, incredible singer, real musician's musician, you know. And I just think, you know, he's a real amazing player, and a dude that you know really forged his own path, because you know, like I think a lot of his albums were like self-produced. He didn't care. He was able to get them out himself, and they sound amazing and did very well. Maybe get in front of the camera a little better. I just realized I was off to the side a bit. All right. Yeah, Ozzy, I mean, Zach, I mean, when I think of him, I think of like the Rapid, you know, and then like times that by 3. What guitarist has inspired you the most? Probably Van Halen. I think I can easily say Van Halen. You know, let me see if I can get more of a view here. Now I'm getting so many, they're falling off the page here. All we can hear is pinch harmonics. I like Zach. I think Zach's an amazing player. And his sound was pinch harmonics, and so people give him crap for it, but whatever. I'm sure he's fine with it. Let me see. Yeah, probably Van Halen. Utica, New York. What's up? Boston for the Red Sox game. We probably lost. Boy, we've been stinking it up this year. Any tips for sweep picking and pinch harmonics? The sweep picking is really just practice, and start with as few notes as possible. Don't try to do anything. Try and just do like 2 notes, and then, you know, it's like, then like all one, and then add a couple at the end. Crap like that. I'm not very good at it. Pinch harmonics is just choking up on the pick. If you do it, if you practice it enough, you can do them up. That's an upstroke harmonic. Right? Harmonics both ways. It's literally just choking up, and I have the little flesh of my thumb like sticking out the side. I actually squeeze my thumb a little bit. I squeeze, and that pushes the little bit of flesh from the side out like a little balloon, which is easy for me. Do you have an Ibanez with a ZR bridge? No, and I've heard mixed reviews on it. So I don't know. I'm probably way back. Way back. What do I think about the Red Sox this year? I think they're they're stinking the joint up, but it was always last year, 2 years ago, right? We're 2 years out now. Thoughts on Kirk Hammett? You know, I don't know much. I can tell you this much. Between his sound and playing and James Hetfield, I actually think I like James Hetfield better. It's just something about his playing. His rhythm is so tight, you know. And solo stuff doesn't impress me sometimes as much as good rhythm playing, because that takes a lot of, you know, rhythm. How's the Iron Maiden bar? I got one cooling down right here. It's actually pretty awesome. If you haven't tried it, it's an extra special bitter. Last show you went to, it was Robin Trower. Last show I went to, Steel Panther. Sammy Hagar, David Lee Roth. Well, I like them both for different reasons. I like Sammy. Sammy is undoubtedly a better singer than David Lee Roth. I mean, we can just all say that, right? He's a much better singer than David Lee Roth. But David Lee Roth, I mean, I can tell you, I went to 2 shows on the 1984 tour in one weekend, and they were insane. That Friday night show, man, oh my God. David Lee, it was pretty amazing. Scalloped and normal. Well, probably normal because most of my guitars are normal. But one, you know, you got to have one scallop, because I swear, I think you really can play a little better with it. I don't know. I go in and out on that. You know how that goes. You convince yourself, oh, I need a pick just like this, you know, and you and then later on you're like, I hate this pick. What am I doing? And you switch to another. You know how that goes. Robin Trower is awesome. I love Robin Trower's playing, man. His Strat tune is amazing. Agreed. Which blues players do you like? Well, obviously Joe Bonamassa, you know, he's awesome. And, of course, our dear departed B.B. King was an amazing icon. But, you know, John Lee Hooker, and I think I had some Muddy Waters discs back in the day. I wasn't so much into Buddy Guy. I've seen Buddy Guy a couple of times. I was not much of the jazz, I mean the blues, as much as I went through a big jazz thing and a big like funk. I was way into James Brown, and sadly I never got to see him. He played on my graduation day. The day I was graduating from college, he was playing here, and I couldn't go. He was playing during the daytime at a festival. What time is the show, Henry? You just got here. It's not going to end for about another 90 minutes or so. We're going till 9 p.m. here. You ever tried a Music Man guitar? I've tried the Van Halen Music Man guitars, and I liked them. Never tried a Petrucci. I would imagine I would pick better. All right, let me see here. Thoughts on a bunch of low, mid-range, price-wise guitars? Too high range? Well, I think, you know, again, this was $250, and, you know, you're not going to get a guitar of this quality for $250 new. So I am used, like, almost all the time, and I really recommend, you know, do your homework, learn about the model you're interested in, and see if you can find it for used. You always save, you know, a ton of money, like my Charvel I just got, right? So that's $8.99 on the floor. I paid $4.99. It's $400 off. It doesn't have a scratch on it. It's like a brand new guitar, you know. And it came with the deluxe bag, and you know, every whammy bar. I mean, might have been missing the wrenches and a cloth. I mean, who cares? I mean, it's $400 off of retail. That's the way to go. Go used if you can. Really, really. High end, I think you can get some of the Ibanez stuff cheap, you know. You could get a Les Paul probably between $1,200 and $1,400 that would be nice, you know, would be a standard. It would have the binding. It wouldn't be like a studio or something. Not that those are bad. Just saying, like, if you want like a nice mid-range, you know, you can get those used. The upstroke bitch harmonic. That's all I got, bro. Have you figured out how to use the TH2 and media player all at the same time? You know what? Here's the thing. It depends on the sound card. It works, I found out, with my M Audio. I mean, my Focusrite. My Focusrite Scarlett USB. I can run any apps all simultaneously, and they'll work with that running with TH2. But in my system with the PCI slot card, no go. It takes over the system, and no other audio can run. So it really just depends on your audio device, it appears. at least for Windows. Do you like Frank Zappa? Yeah, I saw Frank Zappa, and I met Frank Zappa, and my uncle met Frank Zappa. My uncle met Frank Zappa at a show, at a club in Boston, and then I met him at a show right before the show. We had like third row seats, and he was sitting on the edge of the stage, and I walked up and gave him my ticket, and he signed it and shook my hand, and he didn't say a word, and I'm counting that as meeting him. Okay? I count that as meeting him. So, Italy, Italia. I definitely get some Italian in me. That's for sure. My grandmother's maiden name was Germano. What are we going to call these live shows? Yeah, we need a better name. Live Licks, Live, Saturday Night Live. I could probably get in trouble for that. Yo, dude. I'm in Satch wants to do more chicken foot with the other guy, so I'm looking. Hetfield is a down-picking god. I love, what's his name? Satchel, like, sort of zooed that. He said, I'd do it all downstrokes, but I'm not as good as James Hetfield, which is true. His downstroke picking is probably unparalleled in the industry. Oh, let's see. Have you looked into Agile? I suppose I played a bunch over a friend of mine's house. He has a bunch of them. Unfortunately, he's a lefty, so all I could do is sort of, I couldn't really play them. But you can get a feel for guitar, even turning it upside down and holding it. You can feel the neck thickness and things like that. And you can certainly look at it and feel it. And I thought they were all pretty nice. I thought they were all kind of nice. Ozzy or Dio? Yeah, nice try. No one can choose between those two. Thoughts on Steve Vai? Amazing guitar player. If you've ever seen me do that, that's from Steve Vai. That's totally stolen from him. Picks. What's up on the 65A5M? No plans to get a PV6505MH. If they sent me one, I would certainly accept it, but I'm not expecting it to happen. Thoughts on Mark Knopfler? Really amazing guitar player, and actually a fairly funny guy. He's actually quite quick-witted. I really like listening to him in interviews because he's pretty sharp, unlike Mark Knopfler. Thoughts on John Mayer? Amazing player, amazing singer. People dump on him because, he's poppy, but my wife wanted to go see him. I see that there's the rub, right? My wife wants to go see John Mayer. And I'm like, sure, I'll go see John Mayer because he's an amazing guitar player. And we went, and the woman behind us was screaming like, wah! I was like, yikes. Whoa, I don't think I've ever liked something that much in my life, and, but she calmed down with the music. She respected the music, which I can't say for a bunch of shows I've been to, and, he was amazing. His playing was really, really good. Are you going to have Joe Stump on the show? I want to. I've asked him. He's super busy, though. God, I'd be like, hey, Joe, you want to come over? He's like, I'm going to cut an album with, Michelangelo, and I'm touring down in Mexico. It's like the guy is all the time, super busy. So, it's hard to ask people to come over, and it's hard to find the time. Your thoughts on jazz guitar players? Awesome. Yeah, talk about those Van Halen concerts in the 80s. Oh, my God. I went to so many. I saw them on the 84. Some friends of mine saw them on 82 and even 83, but I didn't go. I was so, depressed. Van Halen was supposed to play my high school, and didn't happen. They got famous and declined. They had like an agreement in place, but not signed, and Van Halen had a single come out, and they were like, we don't play high schools anymore. And that was the end of that. What do you think about Buckethead or Chaotic playing? it's not my cup of tea, but sometimes I really like it. He has some rhythmic stuff that's really awesome. Marshall, Orange, or Vox. Oh, geez. I mean, seriously? That's all right. Boy, I am way back. Sorry, guys. Too many questions. Thoughts on tone when a solid body electric? I think it does make a difference. I'm on record as saying it makes a difference because I think depending on how flexible the wood or how hard the wood is, you get absorption and reflection. And usually when the guitar is harder and reflects more, it's a little brighter. I mean, we're not talking a big. Here's my thought. It's more than the deniers and less than the believers, right? It's like somewhere in the middle. I think there is some reflection and absorption, though. And when it reflects more, it sounds to us a little brighter. And when it absorbs more, it absorbs those high frequencies, it sounds to us a little warmer. And that's about it. And, that's it. Great technical player. Jarrett didn't innovate anything. I don't know who that is. Dating myself. My first music cassette I bought when I got into music was Van Halen 1984. Yeah, I saw them on the 84 tour. That was amazing. I saw them on the 5150 tour and the tour after that. And then I saw them on the Monsters of Rock. Hello, Pix. Hello, John. Ever try esoteric guitars? I have not. I don't think I've ever heard of them. Any pop or jazz albums you like? Well, for jazz, you've got any guitar player must own Mike Stern's Time in Place. Mike Stern, Time in Place. All right? That is absolutely, and there's a bunch of John Scofield albums you should own too. Things like Still Warm, to a lesser degree Loud Jazz. I would say Still Warm is probably his best. It's really funky. It's really good. I was into Miles, and I had Tutu and all that. I saw Miles twice. His second show was like one of the best shows I've been to. It was so amazing. All those players were just incredibly gifted. Things you would like to do, have a little basement like that. You are like your base. Yeah, I booted my family up to the second floor. They were up on the first floor here, like up till like 2 minutes ago. I was like, "Are you gonna be in?" They're like, "We're leaving now." They just went up to the attic. We have a little home theater up in the attic because we can't fit a TV up there. How are you gonna get a TV up on the third floor? Especially when you want a big screen. So I built the screen up there using a nice screen fabric and some like 1x3s. And not even 1x2s. They're tiny, and it's like 102 inches or 104 inches diagonally. So we've had that projector a while. It's old. It's only like 720p, but it's like Dark Chip 3, right? So it's got a pretty killer picture. It's like a planar to the planar. Favorite Van Halen album? Probably Van Halen 1. I really love Van Halen 1. So awesome. Thoughts on Marty Friedman? I don't know much about Marty, but I know he is considered a really awesome player. I can't say I know enough of his music, but I understand he's really awesome. And I will take the general consensus as true. How many full songs do you know? Probably not many off the top of my head because I just don't have the need to play them. When I have to learn a cover or something, I'll do it. But I rarely. I mean, it starts to get boring to play through a whole song. You play like a couple of riffs. That's like when people go on shows and they like, "Can you play us a little bit of something?" They play like one chorus. They're not going to go through the whole tune. It's pretty rare. At some point it gets a little ridiculous if you don't have the full band. I don't know much about Tool. I can't say I do. They're a little bit after my time. Aria compared to Hoshino Gaki Ibanez. I think my experience with Hoshino Gaki has been very positive. Now I do own an Aria, and it was like one of their nice ones. And I can tell you that I think at the same time, I think that Aria is probably like a 70s, late 60s, early 70s. And my oldest Ibanez is a 76, and the 76 Ibanez is clearly much better. New DS Charvels. I don't know much about them. I've seen those, right? The DS. Australia. What's up? Down under. Early morning for you. Top of the morning to you. House is burning down. When is the one get? Someone asked this last time. What is the one guitar? Probably the 87 Ibanez. Maybe the 1980 Ibanez Artist because it's so nice, but probably the 87 Ibanez RG, even though it's only worth a few $100s. It's got the most history, right? It's like who are you going to save first, your brother or your friends, right? You save your bro, family first. I got deals. Yeah, I've gotten deals on eBay too, but they're harder. Everyone on eBay is trying to really get top dollar for it. I do see the deals out there once in a while, but they're not as frequent as Guitar Center used. Same with Craigslist, right? They're like, I bought this for $4.99, sell it for $4.79. It's like, are you insane? I'll give you $1.50. Let's see, Guitar Center. Guitar Center is really good for used, because they get so much stock and they want to move it fast, so they generally price it to move, and I get pretty good deals. I have to say, I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, is that what I have? Do I have the Pro Mod? I have the what do I have? The San Dimas, flame maple top with the charcoal blackburst, I think they call it. Esoteric Guitars USA and Korea. I can't say I have. Thoughts on whether or not the guitar will sound. I used to sort of disregard it, but I had a friend that recently had the whole face of his acoustic crack, and he was in really dry conditions, and now he had it fixed, and he's a firm believer in like humidity for acoustics. Electrics are mostly sealed up. I don't know that you're going to get a huge difference other than maybe a little neck movement. The best LP copies. I think the Ibanez ones are some of my favorite. Obviously, Epiphone. Epiphone's the best LP copy. Did you hear about the Gibson price? Oh, yeah, who didn't? God, that was not a great, I think, PR move on Gibson's part, but what do they care? Just got a bias is great. Bias is great. Please recommend a good guitar lead. Like a all right, you said a good one. Hold on, let me think. Thoughts on PRS guitars? Never seen you play one. I haven't. I've played them. Their necks are a little bit bigger. See, I like Ibanez, a very thin neck. I went to Guitar Center the other day. I was looking for something. I was killing time, and I was in there, and I was just checking out a bunch of guitars. I thought all the necks felt a little big to me. The only one I liked was the Ibanez. They had a Prestige up there. I was like, oh, this neck feels awesome. So I like the smaller necks. All the other ones, Any Tokai ever made their way to the US? They have, but I've never owned one. I just want to tell you kick a lot of ass. Thanks, bro. I had a lecture that looked like Frank Zappa. God, that would freak me out. Pig nose amps. I think I might have had one. Let me see here. Did I have a pig nose? They're a nice little amp. That Commodore 64, Commodore Amiga 500 is still sitting on the shelf. It doesn't work. I probably lost the power supply, but I can't bring myself to get rid of it. I'll mount it on the wall as a remembrance of computer times past. I use WinUAE if I'm feeling nostalgic. Steve Vai was not with Frank. I saw him on the Shut Up and Play Your Guitar tour in 1990. I'm thinking that was 91, 1990, 89. I forget how long ago that was. Was it in the late 80s? Was it that long ago? The Shut Up and Play Your Guitar tour. They did Stairway to Heaven and the let's see, they had a band section, a horn section. The horn section played the guitar solo in unison. Sounded amazing. Greetings from the UK, checking in from Connecticut. Thoughts on Jackson's? Jackson's been on my radar, but I almost pulled the trigger on an '86 Jackson soloist for about $1,600, but I chickened out. Admittedly, I was like, I can't spend that right now. One of those white tubes. Oh, those right there. That's PVC pipe that I made a makeshift dolly to move the guitar across. So I have a little track I made from roller skates. I should just show it at some point. I have like a platform, a heavy platform that can take a tripod. I can put the tripod on there and I can hold it down using bungee cords. And it holds it really tight. And then I can put it on those pipes right there. And it's like a little track. And I can just very easily slide it back and forth. And it's a way to do camera shots. That's when I was like all into it before I got bored with it. But I'll use it someday. I should just try and use it someday. I have used it, but very little. Greetings from the UK. Hi, Steve. Saturday Night Licks. Saturday Night Jive. Like probably kind of like Pixie Flicks. Let me see. Saturday Night Licks. Yeah, live lick sounds good. Live from the basement. Licks it up. I actually like that one. Let's mix it up and licks it up. That's kind of funny. Live X. Hanging with the pants open. That could be the name, dude. Though my pants admittedly are closed up, just in case we have a camera malfunction. You have some bad latency. Check your driver. If you're not running ASIO drivers, you're not really running audio on a PC. ASIO is the only game in town. Windows driver model tends not to work very well and tends to have a boatload of latency, and DirectX and all that, all under the Windows driver stuff, not good. ASIO is what you have to have, and if your device doesn't support ASIO, get rid of that device and buy one that supports ASIO. You'll save yourself a lot of grief. You really will. Thoughts on Yngwie? I love Yngwie. I loved him in Alcatraz, right? That's where I first learned of Yngwie, was in Alcatraz before he went out on his own. I think I saw Yngwie once open up for somebody. He was the opening act, but it might have been at a stadium, I think it was, at Foxborough Stadium, and couldn't really see him, and it didn't sound very good. The opening act doesn't really get much volume. They sort of, I saw Joe Satriani open up for someone there, too, and I think the Rolling Stones. I think he opened up for the Stones, and he sounded... Oh, no, he opened up for David Bowie. I saw Bowie there. Let me see here. Actually, it was really... I was in a room with David Bowie, and my wife got us backstage passes to Walden Woods. And it's like I'm standing there, and I look to the left of me, and it's like Sting, like shoulder to shoulder. And it's like, what's up, dude? It's like we were hanging out in this back room. It was really cool. I was like, don't act like a dummy. Kicking it with licks. There is a lag. Well, I'm also going way back, and I'm reading through. People are typing faster than I can read them. And then, of course, I'm responding, and then it takes forever. Light of Shades of Green. Dude, right there, Doug MacArthur. You win. Light of Shades of Green. That was it. Live licks. Any YouTube collabs coming up? I'm working on some stuff. It's been so busy. The ball's been in my court on one collab, and I've just completely dropped it. I've got to work on it. My cousin used to hang next door. He married the girl next to Steve. Awesome. Yeah, a buddy of mine roomed at Berkeley when Steve Vai was there, and he's been to his dorm when he was there. Pixie Tone Talk. Yeah, could happen. Yeah, a few months ago. I know, not... No, I think your first one was right, Logan. A few months ago, it feels like. Oh, man. God, I am way, way off here. Greetings from Ireland. Greetings from Poland. Oh, my God. We are I am way off. I just went down to the bottom, but I'm trying to scroll back, and I'm not seeing anything even remotely. Even remotely. Mike Stern is great. Yeah, I agree. You know any Nuno Betancourt riffs? Not really. I think he wrote Black Cat, right? Oh my God. I am way off. Holy Christ. I just rolled back. Oh my God. I am probably 50 messages behind, maybe more. Wow. Wow. Dang. All right, I'm going to have to take some of these questions under advisement. Get back to you later. All right, let me see if I can just... Yeah. No, Logan, you're right. There's a lag. You're looking at him. Oh. My mom saw Elton John tonight. I love Elton John. You know, there's a guy who really reminds me of the 70s in my childhood. You know, he's so many hits. Australia, good morning. I haven't tried an Axe Effects, but I want to, and I think I got a buddy who's going to bring one over. I'm probably going to do a video on it. Thoughts in PRS? Like I said, I think the necks are a little big for my like. Yeah, I used to see Joe Stump in Long Island. Yeah, he's a New York guy. He's quite a shredder. You know, they compare him to Yngwie, but I think his playing is definitely a little different. Carving guitars, you know, carving's on my radar to get. I want a carving guitar. I kind of do. I saw one I really like, but it sold so quickly. Thoughts on an Epiphone Spaceman Les Paul? I know at least one or two people that have them, and they really like them. You know, I played a bunch of Epiphones the other day. All of them, the necks felt a little too big for me. I think just that whole profile is a little big. Even the fenders were feeling a little big for me. You know, I've been playing these Ibanezes so much lately. Now everything feels like a baseball bat. But I swear my V's, like my V-neck ones, do feel a little thinner. I just picked up an awesome digital caliper. I think it might be time to take the caliper out and do a video and see really what are the neck sizes, you know. Prague, wow. We are all over the world. Steve, you sticking your $300 limit? No, I mean, the Strat cost me $1,000. The Charvel was $500, you know. What else? The RG 3120 was $500. So, you know, I'll go over it. The Larrivee was $1,700. Yeah. I'll break it if I have to, but I do it under protest. Do you use any pedals? I got a bunch of Duncan pedals right here, and I have the new one that's real. I wish I had a closer. I can see it over there. It's a tremolo, and it's really cool because it's stereo, and you can put the channels out of phase and get this killer like panning stereo. It's pretty awesome. Who would you say is the most underrated guitar player? Probably one of the most underrated is Steve Stevens. I just think he is. And The Edge, quite frankly. You know, give the guy some credit. He may not be the flashiest player out there, but the dude got it done, you know. The most overrated? Me. Did you ever play a guitar with 7 strings? With 7 strings? Oh, I see what you're saying. No, even 8s feel really, really thin for me. I was playing 11s for a while, but, you know, I'm getting old and my fingers couldn't take it. So I switched to 10s, and on some guitars, I've even used 9s, but that's about as light as I can go. I'm really 10s most of the time. You know, do you like Paul Gilbert? Yeah, I've met Paul Gilbert. He signed my guitar, a guitar I should have never sold. Throw that on the pile of guitars I should have never sold. You know, do you have a special set of pickups that you like the most for the Stratocaster? I really like my Lace Sensor Holy Grails. I gotta say, They're pretty awesome. They really do sound good, you know. What about the Beatles? The Beatles are awesome. Probably the first band that I ever, like, said, I made my parents, you know, go out and get me the album, and it was Help. And I just remember being, am I still on the distorted side? Let me just switch over. You know, I remember being in, you know, class after school and hearing Help, you know. Love that band. Love that band. But here's a great story for you. We were living in a 4-room apartment in Hyde Park, Boston. All right, and Hyde Park is good and okay. We were in the good section, which was this Italian section. I lived on the same street as a very long-term serving mayor of Boston. It's a little Italian community, and but we were living in a 4-room apartment, and you know, we finally got a house, a really nice house in West Roxbury, which is a little bit nicer community on the whole than Hyde Park. I remember when we pulled up, I was riding with the truck driver. The truck driver turned to me and he said, "Kid, you just went from Hamburg to Porterhouse." And I had no idea what he meant. But my mother reminded me, and it's true. She's like, "Don't you remember?" I said, "I do, actually." And we move in that house, and the people before us left a bunch of crap. My parents didn't have a broom swept clean clause in their P&S agreement. So we move in there, and I'm looking around, and down in the basement was a cardboard box. I open it up, and it's full of albums. God, what I would do to look through those albums today. But I don't recognize anybody. I was 9 years old. I'm looking through it, don't know. And then I pulled out an album that was all white, and down in the corner in raised letters it said, "The Beatles." And I said, "Oh, now I know the Beatles. Let me go up." And I just went upstairs and put that on we had a wall-hanging record player, like mounted on the wall, and the record player pulled down from the front and had the built-in speakers, you know. I know a bunch of you know exactly the wall consoles, you know. And I pulled it out, put the record on, and it was like, the White Album. I was like, this isn't the Beatles I know. Who is this group, you know? Man, that was an epiphany. That was a total epiphany. The White Album. Hello from England. Hello. Do I know any Norwegian bands? I can't say I do. Alan Holdsworth, Metal Fatigue. Yeah, you know, I think I had one of those Ibanez Alan Holdsworth back in the day. Mike Stern is great. Sarman DC, I've seen him a bunch of times. Back in the day, I used to see him in like 87, 88, 89, 90. Saw him in, who's the other guy? Used to see a lot. Hiram Bullock. God rest his soul. I miss him. I have not Trem Stopper, but Trem Stabilizers. George Benson is insane. Let me see. See, what do you think is better, a 5150 6505 or an EVH 5150, and why? You know, they all, I think the people who would own them would tell you they're voiced slightly differently, and I don't know if you're talking better or worse, right? Just different. There's going to be people that will swear by the 5150 sound and the 6505 and the EVH 5150. That said, you know, the scuttlebutt I'm hearing out there is that the EVH 5150 has had some quality control issues. I don't know how real that is, or if it's just a small batch or whatever that went bad and have corrected it. But that's the rumor. That's what I've been hearing out there, out in the ether. Shredcast. Ooh, dude, I like that one. Do you get influences of the Beatles? I do. You have a Bonner. I have no idea what that means. Oh, man. Someone's drunk. What's your favorite guitar you own? I think I hit the RG. Can you play bass guitar? Not great. Here's the thing. I have a real problem with people who use a pick on a bass. I really like the finger stuff, so I tend to want to play that way, and I'm not very good at it. Pixie looks live in your eye. Yeah, it could happen. Why don't guitar companies make lacquered rosewood fingerboards? Have you ever tried one? I haven't. I don't know why they don't use a lacquered rosewood fingerboard. Maybe because the rosewood has enough oil in it that the lacquer wouldn't stick. But that wouldn't be true because it's rosewood acoustics. I don't know. I got to think that that is surprising that no one's even tried that. Kind of weird. I am a fan of the Foo Fighters. Neil Young solos. I saw Neil Young live at the PPAC Center, and he was freaking amazing. I don't know if there's anything about his guitar solos I'm particularly in love with, but his songwriting and his singing, and man, he had that room all by himself. He walked out there and slayed the room. My God, is he good. What do you think about Satriani? I love Satriani, Jesus. There we go. If I could hit it. Come on, a little out of tune. Yeah, my wife is pretty cool, I got to admit. I got to say, I think I can easily say we're still in love. What's your favorite of Eddie's guitars? I've always liked the Bumblebee, the black and yellow, for no other reason other than I just like the color. Let me see. How many solos do you know? Not counting improvisation, but not many note for note, Uh-oh. They just forced me to jump way down. I just missed a whole bunch, Am I in tune here? Yeah, I used to know the solo to, we used to cover, well, that sounds way off, doesn't it? What do you think about Striper? They were sort of they were off my radar back then. Dude, I still have this. No, those San Dimases were never mine. Those were Bobby's. Yeah, you're right. Ricks have lacquered fingerboards. Malchik Blues got it right. I am following my cashless instructions. Damn it. The man makes a point. Oh. It's trooper time. Damn it. I use Sennheiser HD 558s. Oh man, that's awesome. Trooper, admittedly, I bought it for the stupid can, but the beer is actually pretty good. And actually, for the bottles, they went to cans because it's cheaper. Cheaper to transport, and you can sell them in places that won't take bottles, like sporting events and stuff like that. We used to cover like a dozen Judas Priest songs. Judas Priest, God. Am I afraid of clowns? Only the ones on YouTube. Yeah, I've seen the Anvil documentary. I really enjoyed it, and it's funny because it was it got real when it got to the family, right? That's when that documentary got real. Yeah, I love Judas Priest. What else did we used to do? Yeah, Rush. I saw Rush on the Signals tour from Third Row, and it was friggin' amazing. It was the first time I had ever been to a show that close, and I was so young and stupid. I remember telling myself, you should really just get tickets like here for every show now. Yeah, should really try to get, I had first row for Dio once. And I had first row for Foreigner, that I went with a buddy of mine. Joe Walsh opened up. Foreigner, I was like, oh, here's the show. I'm going to know about half the songs. I knew every song except one. Unbelievable. Oh, man. That is good. Any tips on how to pick single note riffs or theme songs by ear? Get yourself a slower downer. It really does help, because sometimes it just goes by so fast it's hard to hear it. Amazing slower downer is actually pretty cool, and I recommend it. You can open up MP3s and a whole bunch of stuff and just play it at any speed. You can set little sections up and just loop them. I've been using Amazing Slower Downer for many years. Do I think rock is dead? I don't know that rock is dead, but I think Gene Simmons was onto something when he said that, rap has sort of stolen rock's mojo. So, rap is like unapologetically bling and rich. They make no apologies for spending money and making money. In fact, they'll tell you it's all about getting paid and getting money. And, it's this sort of like attitude and lifestyle. And I think rock has sort of gone more towards this whole artist thing, where the second you make it, you're a sellout. So I don't know what's going on with rock, but yeah, they seem, certainly the radio is saying rock is dead. Yeah, I like Steve Marchena. I do like Phil X's Fretted Americana. I do. I watch that on a regular basis. I've been a subscriber for years. They did Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. That was like one of the best covers I've ever seen on YouTube of that song. Best covers I've ever seen of it. Custom Shop Design. Hello. Favorite Rush album? Exit Stage Left. Wore that out. I love that live album. I do like Slash. I actually really liked Slash's solo album when he did that, like, acoustic thing. I used to hear it on the Smooth Jazz station, like when I was working up in northern Mass up on the New Hampshire border. Confession Obsession, something like that. Obsession Confession. Yeah, Slash is a good guitar player. Unfortunately, he was with I think it's the singer in that band that's the crazy one, not him. I do like Gio Bonas. I think I mentioned that. Oh, God. How many guitars do you have? I don't even know. It's up there, though. B bar chord in the seventh, leave the B in high. Yeah, yeah. That's actually like this. Man. That's Ozzy, right? There we go. Give Santa Cruz a listen. All right. Yeah. I've never tried a slash. You know what? I might have tried a slash signature, actually, at Guitar Center. But again, the necks on the Les Pauls tend to be a little bit bigger. I like the 60s style neck, and I think he has a slightly thicker than that, right? I could be wrong. Steve Vai, awesome. Do I wish I could have seen James Brown? I wish I could have seen James Brown live. You know, he's, you know, so influential. Let's see how the Chibsons doing. They're doing fine. They're still working. A lot of people predicted they'd be like gone, they'd like disintegrate in a year, but sorry to disappoint. You know, you still can't see the guitar. There it is. There she blows. If I tilt it down too much, then my head is gonna kick, you know. It's like F sharp major something. Yeah, I mean, everyone has tuning problems. I always laugh when people say, well, this guitar never goes out of tune. It's like, yeah, it does, dude. Enough. Does it play itself, too? I mean, come on. I like Oasis. I wish they would, you know, it seems like there's some family feuding going on in there. So just the whole thing's a little grainy? I don't know. You know, it's live feed. Yeah, Vi on Skyscraper. Jan Ackerman, Focus, Hocus Pocus. Yeah. I don't think I've ever played an Ibanez musician. What Australian acts do you enjoy that are not AC/DC? Well, of course, what was it? Who Can It Be Now? It's the only other Australian act I know. Let's see. When are you going to get an Axe Effects? I don't know. At the hospital waiting for surgery, bro. Good luck. I've been there. Not fun. I love Styx. I wasn't much in past the first album or two, but they're pretty good. Mini tune, is that the Gibson thing where the tuners tune themselves, or is that like a little tuner? I'm not really sure what mini tune is. I haven't listened to Cold Heat in Cambria, but according to Richard Christie, I should wear a diaper if I go to one of their shows so I don't miss a thing. Greetings. Oh, man. Dude, you're the best. Thank you. Funk. Men at Work. That's them. Who can it be now? In Excess. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. You know, I know what you're saying, most overrated band. Are you saying someone is, or who do I think is the most overrated band? Probably, some band that's way into the noise. Show me your boobs. You show me your boobs. Jesus. Later, man. I think a dude's just saying he's leaving. Eddie Trunk. I guess he's the host of that metal show, right? You know, I'll be honest, that I really don't. That's off my radar a little bit. You still have your Ibanez RG570 from 1991. Nice. You know, we used to carry West Tone. West Tones are pretty nice, actually. They're decent guitars. Ever had an experience with an Explorer? You know, that's been on my radar a little bit. I do like Explorers. And I think, you know, Eddie used one that looked way, awesome. Oz, hello. Yeah, Coheed and Kimber. I've heard good things. Are you excited for Winter NAMM? I am. Love a Winter NAMM. Nice little break from the cold weather. Hang out with my buds. What guitars are you looking to buy next? I don't know. It's really not that I'm looking for anything. Sometimes it is. Like the Strat I was definitely looking for. But in the Ibanez Les Paul, I was looking for that I'm actually on the hunt for. But it's like this one I wasn't looking for. It was $250 and I was like, sweet, for a guitar that sold for, $800 25 years ago. Yeah, this is a 1990 model. So did Clapton officially retire? I've seen him a few times. I like Clapton. I saw him in the early 90s when he was super hot. He was just tearing up the pop world. He was writing massive pop song after massive pop song. See, they're flying by me again. Cheapest guitar pickups you can recommend? People like the I don't know too many of the cheap ones. People like GFS stuff. Rose Tattoo, I've heard of them. So, hello from North Carolina. Hello. Well, let's see. Least favorite 80s metal albums. It's hard to say. If I wasn't into it, I didn't pick it up. I haven't started working the Skull and Bones yet, but that's going to happen soon. And I already got the stripper. I just haven't, like the Wolfgang copy. She doesn't guilt me about the purchases, but I don't share. I mean, why you want to stir that up? Why you want to? She doesn't care about him. All it's going to do is just be a problem. When you buy a new guitar, just keep it to yourself. Your wife doesn't care. She really doesn't. Favorite signature LP or just favorite LP? I like the traditional Pro 2 with the 60s neck, right? Because that's really slim. Any of the classic with the 60s neck, it's got to be the 60s neck. It's got to be the thinner neck. That's all. Yeah, Terry Bear. I want to get the Chapman, the ML1 Pro. I played that at the Chapman event, and that was awesome. Prince Edward Island, I've been there. My grandfather was from Berry Mills, Canada, right outside of Moncton. Yeah, dude, you should have wore the diaper. You sit through the whole event. Does anyone besides Richard Christie wear a diaper when they go to a concert so they don't have to go to the bathroom, they can still drink beer? I mean, it seems a little much. Any exercises for vibrato? I find that for first finger, you're pivoting like this. It's like opening a doorknob. And then, and then it gets harder as you work your way up because the pivot, it feels like it's on the center on one and then gets further away from the center as I move away. So it just gets harder. But it's more of a rotation than a push. When you start to push, if you're pushing more than rotating, I find it's not, From Massachusetts, meet up for a mass hole get together? Yeah, maybe. Get all the Mass buddies together out in, like, Framingham, Massachusetts. I'll see you guys down in Wareham. If I ever broke or wore out a guitar, my RG 560 probably needs to be refretted. I've probably worn the frets out on that at this point. The only reason why it's even playable is because it's scalloped. I did meet Rob Chapman at his guitar event, and we went out to dinner afterwards. It was a good night. Drinking the beers. 201 people watching. Holy Christ. What's up, people? What do I have to say about B.B. King? This. Loved him, man. Holland. You live in Moncton. Cool. I've been to Moncton. Been to the hill that is supposed to be magnetic, but you're really going down, but the sides make it feel like you're going up. It's awesome. Magnetic Hill. And I've been out to Prince Edward Island. And favorite guitar brand? You know, admittedly, it's probably Ibanez, and a close second is Fender. What do I do for a living? Oh, God. I clean up messes. What I do for a living is a highly guarded technical secret. If I told you, I'd have to kill you. Let me see. When is your mate coming with the white RG550? You know, that's a good question. He's the guy who actually told me that there were troopers out there, because I didn't even know about it, and he posted it on Facebook. I was like, dude. So I really got to get him over here. He's awesome, but I think he's still on some active duty with the military, so he might not be 100%. At his age, can you imagine that? You know, because he's my age, which is old. And I think he's still doing a few weekends active duty. Christina, blah, blah, blah. Oh, really? Spent the day with Rob Chapman. Awesome. Do you like Gary Moore? I love Gary Moore, man. I just, you know. All right, we got to do it real. Something like that. Your best Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. Get to the chopper! That's probably my favorite movie from him, Predator. Probably one of my favorite movies, because it's so awesomely awesome. I ain't got time to bleed. Yeah, that RG760. That, don't forget, I only paid like $274.95. Is with tax and shipping that got to $300. I know, pretty awesome. Opinions on stoner doom rock. Well, certainly, like Sabbath could be in that group, but not really. I always think of them as more heavy metal. You know, no, it's not the CIA. Swarm. No, I don't sell insurance. God, Christ, dude. Metalcore, the gent style, or degent. You know, I don't really know much of that stuff. I'm not big on the screamers. I'm more into the singers, and there's fewer of them I think in those genres. So that already limits it quite a bit. I can tell you though, I like some of the heavier sounds. Hard to. Ooh, here comes that trooper back. It's charging back up. So tired from the UK here. I'm sorry, bro. I know I'm keeping you up. Was it 1:20 a.m. there? So, man. Florida. See, the people here, they're earlier. Trooper beer is pretty good. It's an extra special bitter. Nice. Old. I am almost 50 and feel young. Yeah, well, you have company. For for those of you who just got here. Hello, trooper. Okay, let me see here in terms of East Coast. Let me see. Why don't you play some Rolling Stones songs? Yeah, I like Rolling Stones. Trying to think if I know any off the top of my head. Rock on, TK Dolphin. Thanks for stopping by. You're an ice cream man, yeah. I had a friend that did get an ice cream truck, you know, back when we were like teenagers, and he used to drive around playing that one song over and over again. It was so annoying. Play Steel Panther. How did you start on YouTube and how did you make it big? I think that's quite presumptuous. Yeah. I don't know. I just came on and played. I started with a Steel Panther contest, and it just sort of went from there. Good evening from Paris, France. Good evening. 3:20 in Finland. I am sorry, bro. And I really appreciate you staying up. Oh, my God. Any legato tips? I'm with you, man. The legato. I find the pull-offs are easier. Just work there. You know, crap like that, you know. See, even my legato has a lot of picking. Play Technical Difficulties by Paul Gilbert. Please, no one can play that, not even Paul Gilbert. What do you think of polyweb strings? You know, I don't like the coated strings. I have some of the clear tone and the blacksmith, and those are treated. They don't see, you can't feel anything. I'll give them a try and see if they work, but you know, if they've changed their formula so you don't feel them. But that's my biggest complaint, was I could just feel the coating. That's all. Michael Schenker. Geez, I don't know if I know any Schenker. I know a lot of Rudolph Schenker. Try a Stallone impression. Oh, man. Michael Schenker for the German viewers. All I can do is... What do you think about Green Day getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? They deserved it. You know, they absolutely deserved it. They've had a bunch of hits. They've remained popular for a long span of time. And, you know, even, that's the whole thing about it. You know, you don't get not every band you're going to like. You know, I thought they deserved it. I really did. Favorite Jackson guitar, the soloist, easily. I think Michael Schenker is an underrated guitarist. I'm writing a jazz song, chords of C major 7, C major 7, C major 7, A major 7. Flintstones bit, yeah. You know what, I was just doing the recently Popeye, right? God, I can't help but fuck it up. How's that? More beers. Oh, I have more beers. I got a buddy coming over. When this ends at 10, I got a buddy come over to like, this is going to end at 9. I got a buddy coming over like 9:30, 10. Well, I just started. It's Saturday night. Yeah. And then I do the Brady Bunch theme. Then he modulates, right? Yeah, I saw Harry Shearer is out of The Simpsons. What are they going to do? What are they going to do with him? He does so many voices. I actually have by David Silverman, I have a drawing of Burns in my office that has this, it says on the top, "Baby Gets Nothing." It's signed by Harry Shearer and David Silverman. The other one I could have got also was Bromhere Wolfcastle, the Arnold character, and it said, "No, comma, you die." And I didn't win that auction, but he sent it with photos of the guy drawing it and the other guy signing it, so it's pretty authentic. Oh, thanks. Oh, see you, man. Thanks. Brian. Is it Brian or Brian? Sorry, Brian. Help me out here. I butcher names on a regular basis. Live from Boston, it's Shredded A Night. Dude! That's awesome. Staten Island, New York. What's up? Nice. Can you play Living Color? Here, everyone goes. But I like this one. Columbus, Ohio. What's up, buddy? Bands like Maiden. Do I like South Park? Yeah. Huge fan of South Park. Thoughts of the Wider Gibson necks for 2015? I don't like them. I don't like, not do my own private, I know. No, you do it. I don't like wide necks. I don't like big necks. I like smaller necks. So anytime a company airs on the side of bigger necks, I'm like, no, sorry. I like the Moderns. They look awesome. On the side of this beer. Maiden with Priests and Scorpions would be on my bucket list, yeah. I don't know any Cemetery Gates. I'm sorry, bro. I'm an old man. And so if they came out after like 84, play some Extreme. know what? I just put a new set of strings on this guitar. You get a guitar, and I'm like, oh, it'll be fine. I'll play it. I'll stretch them all out. Sounds like just the E was off, right? Maybe not. Later, Robert. Thanks for stopping by, bro. No, not much a classical guy, no. Meshuggah, I don't know. Classical gas, sorry. Sorry, bro. I like old B-52s, yeah. First couple albums, you know. Yeah, Sinister Gates is out of the question. I haven't heard the Tokyo Dome concert yet, but here's my thoughts on it. Eddie sounds awesome and Dave not so much, right? I mean, can we all just agree on that? Eddie still sounds pretty damn awesome, but, Dave, it's like, it's only out of respect for the entire body of work, Yeah, I know, more than words. Facepalm. You see, it's so long. It's like I remember bits and pieces, but honestly, it's been a long time since I've, when I think of Guthrie Govan's signature Charvel, I love it. I just wish it was cheaper. Later, Gabriel. Thanks for stopping in, man. Let's see, what are your opinion on the Pothead Guitar Center opening? Organizing the pick holders? I don't think I've seen that. Is that a video? I don't think I did, but you know what? When they were in town, we didn't really have much time. They were here. Mob Rules by Actually, Cat Dumpling, I disagree. I saw them in '84, and he actually sounded pretty good. He actually didn't sound that bad in '84. And I saw him on the Eat 'Em and Smile tour, and he wasn't that bad. I mean, he was passable, right? He was passable like Motley Crue was passable, right? I mean, when you hear them in the live setting, and it's, kind of loud, noisy, it sounded pretty good. It really did, Says, do I know any Dawkins? Yeah, God, I used to know. Jeez, you guys put me on the spot. Right? Where's the Strat? Right there. Most treasured guitar? Probably the RG 560. Just we've had it for so long. Yeah, DLR, I don't know what his deal is now, but back then, live, I know what you're saying, Cat Dumpling, the recordings reveal, but and I gotta say, I went to the shows in the room, they sounded pretty good, Probably the RG 560 most prized guitar. he sucked pretty bad. Yeah, yeah. We probably give him a pass. I mean, to be honest, it's Diamond Dave. Yeah, you saw him on Eat 'Em and Smile. Didn't notice any bad singing, But yeah, Steve and don't forget Billy Sheen's an awesome backup singer. He's got a good voice, All right, this one's gone. Any on improving strict down picking. Picking in general is just practice. And sometimes, like when I would just be like watching TV, I would sit there with the guitar off and, you know. And that could go on like the whole show. Just sit there. And that works your right hand out, you know. Deflate gate, you know, here's the thing. It's probably real and no one around here gives a shit. We really don't. Sorry. Oh, I wish I had better news for you, but... Yeah, and the other thing is that the company that came up with the report had other reports hired by other people, like tobacco doesn't cause cancer and, you know, all these other things. So, I mean... they don't have the best track record. But, you know, again, it really depends. In New England, no, everyone's like, they're fine. And outside, everyone hates them. So it's really, you know. I haven't read many band diaries. I haven't read the Heroin Diaries, although I heard it's really done well. Can you play any Mr. Big? I can't, unfortunately. I saw Billy Sheehan with Tallis. He dope slapped me in the head because I went to school that day. I was still in high school, senior. I went to school that day, and that night we went to the show. And it was like, you know, in my defense, it was like 12:30 a.m., and I had been up since like 7 a.m. And I yawned, and I was at front row because we got there super early. I was right in front of him, and he was all offended. He went like, and then reached down and dope slapped me in the head and screamed, "Wake up." And I was like, "Sorry, bro." I love Marshall Tucker Band. I love Leonard Skinner. You know? I don't know how that lady who got hit in the head with the bat is, but I can tell you right now, that story is like really, really shaking up the whole area. That's like really, apparently it's made national news, but I don't know if you saw the picture, but she was really injured. I mean, it was really bad. I felt so bad for her. You know, I was in a traumatic injury in 2003. I broke my leg, shattered my leg in like 12 pieces. I got 15 pins and 2 plates in there. And I can just tell you that being in the hospital for a long period of time and being stuck in a hospital bed for a long period of time sucks, period. It just does. And she's going to be in the hospital for a while, and it just disrupts your whole life, and it just blows, you know. And I just can't, I feel bad for her on so many levels, not just the injury, but just the disruption in your life that a serious injury can happen, that it can have, you know, on your life. It's just the worst, you know. It really is. I did see the PV Undercover Boss episode. Yeah, I saw that. You know what? I don't even mind the outsourcing of the jobs. I had no problem with that at all, and I get that, you know. I mean, that's just the way business works. You know, like it or not, that's the way business works. I had a problem with them convincing that dude to stay, only to lay him off like 10 weeks later. That I had a problem with. I was like, oh, because it's such a bad PR move on their part. You know, it's like you should have just let him go. He was leaving. He had a new job. Just let the guy go. That's the thing. Other than that, I had no problem with that episode because that's what happens. The jobs get outsourced. That's the way it does. So, I mean, unfortunately, you know, manufacturing is moving out of the country, but, you know, I'm in a service industry. I'm not really affected by that. You know. A lot of people agree with you, Terry Bear. I haven't tried a Sir. I would like to try Sir. I'm hoping that their necks are fairly slim. If they are, I would like them. If their necks aren't slim, then we got a problem. Let me see. Thoughts on Hughes and Kettner amps. I've been wanting to try one. They seem to have, a strong following. I mean, they're doing something right, you know. Chinese food, yeah. I like Thai food probably a little better. Sorry. I'm more into Thai, or maybe not so much Jet, really Thai. Yeah, it's just how often will you be doing live shows? I mean, what do you think I should do? Like one a month, two a month, every couple of weeks or something? I don't know. I like the live shows. It's like making a video, but you don't have to sit and produce it. You know, could be beer time. What do I got in here? Oh. What juice at blueberry? I don't really have an opener. I'm gonna have to open it with the. Let's see if we can get this open here. Oh, there we go. Almost. Oop, almost. I'm opening it up with a. Oh. I'm gonna put it on a platform here. Come on, you. I have an opener, but it's on the other side of the room. What did I do? Cut my thumb a little bit on it? Yeah. Come on, you. This could be a while. Sunset Grill in Allston. I've been to the Sunset Grill a few times. I mean, who hasn't around here? Oop, there we go. We're getting there. You think I should do it? Whoop. I think it just went. Live lessons, maybe Skype. Not really. I'll be honest, I haven't been, where am I bleeding from? A little bit right there, a little bit. Just waiting to look down and find a giant gash. I have a massive scar on, see that right there? My finger looks like an ass. Cut that one right down to the bone. No, I don't ride motorcycles. Here's what happens. You have kids, and then risk management becomes a problem. And people around here drive like assholes. So you say to yourself, I could be the world's greatest, my bro doesn't have any kids. When's the next channel with bro? He was just over recently, and he brought his Fuchs over, and we recorded it, but I'm having a problem with the audio. We'll see. Live and drunk. Well, not quite drunk yet, bro. I mean, 2 beers. Come on, give me one beer and one sip. I mean, give me a little credit. Signing off. Oh man, 3 a.m. Thanks for staying up so late, man. Really, I appreciate it. Licks with picks. Yeah, that could work. Do you like Opie and Anthony? They were around here. I'm sure I've heard them a few times. Beards and beer in the basement. That's nice, but I might be stepping on my friend Ryan Bruce's toes a little bit. Bastard child of Ibanez and Fender, you'll love them. Well, if they're the child of Ibanez and Fender, I definitely would love them. That Ass Finger, you see that? That should be the name of my first album, Ass Finger. They drive like massholes. That's just it. That's exactly it. Cheers, bro. Yeah, my brother is smart. He's wicked smart. That's what I always tell him. I'm like, you are wicked, wicked smart. Let me see here. Just got here. What's up, Green Meanie? Yeah. Yeah. People everywhere. Yeah. That's pretty much it. So it's not you. It's like you get a bike and you're fine, right? You know how to drive. It's the other dude blowing through, some chick on a phone blowing through a stop sign or blowing through a red light and broadsiding you. It's like I got kids. I can't be, it's too much of a risk. Too much of a risk, or I would. I had mini bikes as a kid like crazy. Little Honda 50, little 49cc, arguing with a cop. 49cc's is legal. He's like, oh my God. License and registration, it doesn't have to be registered, officer. It's 49cc. She's like, what are you, giving me law lessons? I'm like, yeah, actually, I kind of am. Pixie Link Steel Panther cover band. Yeah, I'm in Stripper Girl, which is actually it's a tribute band to It's a tribute band to Asian Hooker, which is, of course, a tribute band to Steel Panther. We're not quite at Steel Panther tribute band yet. We're just one level away. We're like double A ball. Checked out an Ibanez RG655. I haven't, though. You know, thoughts on S-Gear? I'm dying to try them. Yeah, Rip BB King, I agree. Yeah, S-Gear, I definitely want to give them definitely want to give them a try. You know. Yeah, there's an accident every day. I mean, around here, there seems to be like an accident every day on the highway. They're like, we're clearing out a crash on 128 North, up by the Pike. Steve, I want to love your butt. Bro. That's crazy. It's shit. Looks like I'm not the only one drinking. Oh, man. Baby steps, exactly. Just hear an airplane landing. Yeah, I'm a tribute band to a tribute band, exactly. The new Panama amp is awesome. It's really nice. It's like a champ. It's like a tweedy champ. Later, Shelvin. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see. Cheers. I don't know. Was he back there? I must have missed him. The masturbating dude. Oh my God. Oh, that's the funny thing. Yeah, I hate driving the Pike too. You know, what's up, Colonel Angus? There's nothing I love more than Colonel Angus. Bobby from Cleveland, what's up? Hottest guitar chick? I mean, come on, Orianthi, right? Please. Is there any hotter guitar chick? And she can actually play. So many chicks just can't seem to play. You know, maybe they don't have the finger strength. I don't know what it is. But she can really rip. She's a player. Man. Gonna hit the hay. See ya. See ya, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. I'll do more. Most used guitar rig presets. I'd have to look. I can't switch right now or I'd lose my guitar, but I should do a video, show them. Bikes versus cars. In that movie. Play some freestyle. A little freestyle on it. I don't know. My fingers are cold now from holding that beer. Snort count of 3. What's that? I'm at 5 now? At least I'm not like my uncle goes like, when he laughs. He has this like this breathe in. Jennifer Batten is awesome. But Orianthi is hotter. The Pats are going to go 19-0 this year in an angry fit to smite their detractors. Courtney Love, dude. Please. Yeah, Vixen is a kid. Yeah, right. Everybody. Vixen. Oh, my God, they're so hot. I don't know Samantha Fisher or Tina S. Garth Brooks versus Chris Gaines. I don't know much about them. I'm going to be honest. Country is not my strong suit. No, Orianthi can play. Are you shitting me? Of course you can play. You know, I saw that Richie and Oriente. Richie looked a little drunk, maybe. I'm drinking a little bit. Is my index finger cut? Yeah, it might be. Let me see. On this side? No. I think that was from this side. No. Just a little blood. I mean, come on, bros. Sing some Ed Sheeran. Giants will stop the Pats? Maybe. Not if they're like last year's Giants or not. 18-1. Don't remind me. Don't remind me, bro. That was like, never speak of it again. Lose the Lions. Someone's drinking too. Just Lewis. I don't. You know, is she the one with the boobies? I don't know. The last great years for Ibanez RG, 93, 92, 93. The best years for Ibanez are 87, really 88 through 93. Then after that, it becomes harder because they start importing more. So you don't really know. You really have to, like, do a lot more homework. Oh, man. These white Massachusetts coming back. Oh, look who's back, Robert Baker. What's up, bro? Thoughts on ESP? I like ESP. I have to check them out more. When I'm at NAMM, I'll check them out more. I run around and take pictures. I never really... You know, there's someone behind me. No, I have a camera thing here. There's no one... Oh, wait, it's Kiss. Dan Huff? I don't know them. Catch you later, Mick Nulty's Motor. It's so hard to pronounce some of these names on the fly. It's whizzing by on me here. Nancy Wilson is hot and a good player. You know? Yeah, man. Exactly, Nick. We're just hanging out, having a few beers, drinking alone. We're going to have to wrap it up soon. Jeez. Worst American-produced beer? Oh, Christ. Any any adjunct lager? Right? They have a whole name for it. It's not a lager. I mean, they call it a lager, but it's an adjunct lager because they don't even want to really call it, the lager. Two Axemen. Oh, what's up, bro? The Kiss mug is cheap. I used it this morning, bro. I used the Kiss mug this morning for my coffee. I did, It's really good. It's so thick that when you heat it up, it really keeps the coffee warm. And it's a 20-ouncer, which is appreciated. You gonna get any more Chapmans? I've been eyeing the ML1 Pro. That's the one I think is the best, A lesson on wiring guitar? Yeah, maybe. Schlitz is probably the best adjunct lager. If you went to like Beer Advocate and looked up Schlitz, they would probably rate it the best of the adjunct lagers. And the things would be like, holy Christ, I can't believe this beer actually tastes good. Those would be a lot of the comments down below. Yuengling is the shit. Some of these things won't go through because I don't know why. They see it as spam or whatever. But I saw it, Pierce. Blackfoot fan, Richie Medlock, or Blackfoot fan. I can't say I know much. Duff, yeah. Miller. Hey, Mess 2. Hey, what's up? He was in Braintree this morning. I was out in Natick the other day, and the dude, when I was picking up this guitar, was behind me. He goes, do you make videos? I was like, yeah. Have you seen my videos? He goes, like, oh, my God. He goes, I can't believe you're here. I was like, I can't believe you recognized me. But he did. I was like, wow, that's pretty sweet, actually. The Kiss coffee is upstairs. I've moved on to beer. It's too early for coffee. I don't have coffee until about 11. Opinions on the Orange Micro Terror. Not bad for a tiny little amp. I think the Tiny Terror, and especially the Dark Terror, and the other one there, not the Dark Terror, the Jim Root. Amazing amps. Clapton or Vi? Do we have to choose? Can't we just say both? Any Japanese Jackson is working that? Listen, yeah. I think the late 80s Model 6 Model 5, Model 4s, those are all worth looking at. Those are all Japanese made. It's actually been cool here. We're kind of cool. 70 degrees in Chicago. Yeah, it's like, what is it here? It's pretty low. Might be 60 something degrees out there. Let me check my phone. Live show text bomb. Thanks. Wonder how long ago that was. 68 degrees out. Oh, God. I might have to wrap this up soon so I can really start drinking. You're a killer guy. Nice to see you're not a mask. Well, thank you. I actually am a very good driver, too. I used to be wicked bad, but I found serenity. Gonna start making videos. Tips, you know what? Just make the videos. I have lighting. I'm running a lamp right now to light me up because that's why my hand is so bright. If I didn't have that light on right now, it'd be too dark. It wouldn't look good. And your camera would have to like turn its gain up and that'll make it grainy. Lighting. If I could recommend anything, go to eBay and go to like, it's called LS Pro Photos. I'm looking at my umbrella here. LS Pro Photo Studio. And just buy a bunch of their, the great thing about them is that they're compact fluorescent. Buy a bunch of their compact fluorescent lamps, like 2 of them with the umbrellas, you know, or some sort of a diffuser in front, and make sure you have it well lit, and make sure your audio is good, because people will tolerate bad video, but they will never tolerate bad audio. And that is my tip of the day. 93 degrees in Missouri. Oh, God, that sounds muggy. I don't like the mugginess. You know, it can be 100 degrees in Phoenix, but if it's dry as a bone, I don't like it as bad as 93 degrees in Missouri and muggy as all hell. I hate that. Annie by Starkid. Okay, I'll check it out. Serenity and Mass. Bullshit. I know. I don't drive as much anymore, dude. I'm with you. I had a drive the other day to an event. I had to be in downtown Boston for a 10 a.m. Meeting, and I left at about 7:50, about 10 minutes of 8, and I got down there about 9:30 to get in there in plenty of time. And it's really not that far, but that's the kind of traffic I had to sit through. 1985 Roadstar 2, that's an awesome axe. You know, I really like those. We Are the Champions solo. I don't think I know that one off the top of my head, actually. Favorite troll comments you've had in your time on YouTube? Oh my God. I had this one dude. We want to see you get drunk. Well, a couple more of these and I will. What does the Chinese beer taste like? I don't know. I've never tried a Chinese beer. This is Wachusett Blueberry. This is made in Westminster, Massachusetts, and Trooper's made in Britain. You know. Favorite troll comments? God. I've had a few over the years. Any plans on importing new Chinese guitars? I'm pretty much giving up on them. You know, I'm sort of over it. I'm way on an Ibanez kick right now. You know, it's like the Chinese thing. It's sort of like been there, done that. I have no interest really anymore. Sort of done it. I mean, I got 10 of them. Right, sort of over. FX, I think the Axe FX is better, but it's much more expensive. You know, it's like 10 times the cost of amp modeling. So, right, that's, you know. Anaheim, later, bro. I'll be out there for NAMM. Thanks for stopping by. People looking for to jam with other people can't seem to find any. That's tough, man. That is really, looking to jam with other people is the hardest thing. It really is. It's hard for me, you know, Craigslist, but even then it's a cavalcade of dummies. You know, it's like you go on there and you're trying to find someone and, you know, they have a secret project they really want to get going, or they're not, you know, completely truthful with what their objectives are and different skill levels. It's really hard. I got to say, it's not easy. New haircut? No, actually, this is my regular haircut. I just have a little bit of gel in it. This is my normal look when I'm at work. You know, this is respectable, Steve. The most god-awful looking guitar, the Reverse V. You heard it here first. What were they thinking? The Reverse V? I mean, come on. Jesus. How many beers do they drink before they said, wait, I got it. What if we do a V in reverse? And they were like, yeah, reverse V. Let's do that. Christ. No, no one recognized. One dude recognized me in the street actually one time, and one dude recognized me in Guitar Center. But I don't really count the Guitar Center because it's, you know, I should do one of my presets. I agree. Sorry, I haven't done one so far. Do you remember Syntax? I do. Alan Holdsworth was a big Syntax guy, right? Favorite strings and picks? Strings, I've been using D'Addario, but lately I've been using a lot more Cleartone, which are awesome, and Blacksmith, which are also awesome. They're, you know, I'm not really religious on strings. Picks, I'm all over the place. Right now, I'm using if I could try not to drop it, I'm using a Dunlop. I'm using that because it is there. You know. Yeah, the reverse V looks like an arrow. I just don't like it. It's just something, you know. Yeah, the Gilbert's Fireman. But Gilbert's Fireman, you know, there is some science for that upper horn. Like, I think they've found that, like, the upper horn, when it's there, produces a little bit more sustain for some reason. That's why you'll see some basses that they'll put the upper horn, like, all the way up to the neck. They have this big upper horn. And I don't know if there's, like, really any science to it, but certainly they're selling it, you know, that way. Do you think that tone would exist? I do. I talked about that earlier. I do think it exists, because I don't think you could play a guitar and say, that sounds like maple. You know, I don't think that's going to happen, but I think there is reflection and absorption. And I think reflection is brighter and absorption is warmer. That's all. But it really just depends on how much water. I mean, there's so many factors, right? So I do think there's a general part, but not, you know, GHS Boomans. Yeah, Scott Grove. I've watched a few of his videos. I think he's funny. No one else thinks he's a funny guy. I kind of think he's funny. You know. Oh man. So people are saying you should play something, you know. Soloist. I like Agile. I talked about that earlier too. Yeah, Roxanne. Yeah. I like the Police. There's a great live from them when they played the Orpheum Theater in Boston. And they broadcast it on WBCN. And that turned into a live album. It's like one of my favorite recordings by the Police. They're so raw. And I got to say, they really do sound good, you know. Saw the police in Chicago. A buddy of mine saw the police at the Rat in Kenmore Square, which is a tiny club that's no longer there. And it was a snowstorm, and he said it was empty. He sat at the end of the bar and watched them play their set. They finished like an empty room. They sat down at the bar. He said, we drank a few beers and shot the breeze. He got up. They did their second set, and then he goes, the night was over. He goes, there might have been 10 people in the room. For the police. You know, some friends of mine saw U2 at the Paradise, which is a tiny club in Boston, one of the few ones that are still left, you know. Thanks, Lyle, man. I really appreciate that. I think Andy Summers is very underrated as well. I agree, you know. I like Dave's World of Fun stuff, too. He's a funny guy. You know. I don't really have too many periods of woodshedding. I just don't have enough time, you know. I mean, there was a time when I was working. The time I played guitar the most was when I was working at the music store, 9 hours a day. You know, we had to be there from noon to 9, and I'd play guitar all day. Yeah, I mean, there was breaks, but it was kind of there. That's when I picked up more, you know. Beard makes you look, well, thanks. My wife didn't like it at first, but now she really likes it, so it's sticking around for now. Blake Careless Whisper by George Michael. I don't think I know that one, but got your body, got it, baby. Craziest music-related story you've got? Oh man, I'd have to think about. I've got some. God, I'd have to think about that. Boy. Oh man, I'd have to go through the archives and think about that, because I'm sure I have a few. One of the ones that I really remember was I saw Iron Maiden at the Cape Cod Coliseum on the Peace of Mind tour. Cape Cod Coliseum was a tiny venue, general admission. When I got there, there were some of the scariest looking metalheads I've ever seen in my life. And I was driving a car that my dad bought at a police auction. It was a former cop car. So when I pull in a former cop car, people are all staring at me. We get out and, you know, we go on the show, and people were bringing beers in. It was insane. And Fastway with Fast Eddie Clark was the opening act. And about halfway through their set, you know, remember Fastway? Someone threw a bottle up that smashed off the singer's head. I mean, really hurt the guy. I mean, really, and you could see he was a little stunned. He was like, "Oh, good one," like as a joke. And a roadie ran out from the back. Big dude ran out, jumped down. You could see him just pounding the dude who threw the bottle in the face. The whole place just erupted, like, you know, he unleashed a beating on that dude. Oh my God, and well deserved. I mean, who goes to a show and throws shit on stage? I mean, come on, Christ, what are you there for? I went to I saw the Black Crowes at the Groton Italian American Club, okay, in Massachusetts. They were pretty famous at the time, and they left the stage early because people were throwing shit up. And he even said, "Goes throw stuff up at a show," but people are just assholes, right? I guess they're like trolls on YouTube. It's like, why do you go there if you're there to throw shit up? Hey, they're right, chicken wire. That's what they need. You know. Yeah, videos I sold I regret selling, like my 1987 Gem 777 in Loch Ness Green, one of only 777 made, signed by Steve Vai. Probably worth like $4 to $8 grand today, depending on the market. I bought it for $750, $800, and I sold it for $900, thinking I was making money. And I used the money to pay for my college, my stupid education. Actually, it's probably money well spent, but still, you know, the time. And I was never crazy about the color, but anyway, I probably shouldn't have sold it. I'd win the internet now if I had it. Do some tapping. 2 Strat, man. I wish I had one of those. That's awesome. Yes, yeah. You sold it? You had a 62 and you sold it? Oh, dude, man. I don't see tapping as cheating, but I just see it as sort of probably a little cliche at this point. You know, play some ZZ. Freebird. No, I didn't study music in college. I was an economics major. Triumph, you know, I actually got there was a Rick Emmett a tape, like a Starlix tape back in the 80s. It was really good. He showed a lot of different styles. I really liked it. It was one of my favorite, like, educational tapes from the 80s was the Rick Emmett one. You know, yeah, Eddie can play drunk better than most people can play sober. Great. That dude, you know. You've heard pick up straight into the wood or screwed in. You know, it's hard to say, you know, because I think when they're screwed in, hear the tapping? I've got the strings muted. But, I mean, clearly the pickup is picking up the wood noise. Play some Japanese culture sounding things. All right, guys, we might have to goodbye, Joe. Me gotta go. Oh, me, I'm oh yeah, all right, Graham. See you, buddy. Never sell your guitars. It's true. Don't guitar. There was a guy on my Facebook page. I wish I knew his name. He wrote and he said, "Guitars are for buying. Don't ever sell." And boy, was he right. You know. All right, guys. I think we're gonna wrap it up. We're about 15 minutes over, and my wife and kids probably want to come downstairs since I've banished them to the attic. So let's wrap it up. Just tell me where you're signing off from. And then we'll wrap this up in another minute or two. I will invite a friend over for a live show. In fact, my plan is to have a live band over here sometime. I'll have a bass player and a drummer, and we'll come over. We'll do a little jamming. A little live jam. I mean, that would be pretty awesome, right? UK. Oh, thanks for staying up, man, in the UK. I really appreciate it. North Korea. Wow. That's the power of the internet. Connecticut, Ohio. Thank you, man. Somerville, Georgia. We have a Somerville up here. Wichita, can't. Wow. Thanks so much. Ohio, Orlando, Sweden, Florida, North Carolina, Vienna. Melbourne, Long Island, Thompson, Connecticut, Australia, Kentucky, Canada, Kansas City, Kentucky, Finland. Thanks so much for staying up so late. I really appreciate it. Adios, amigo. British Columbia, Canada, Hungary. Well, thank you so much for staying up. UK. Oh wow, the UK. See, I'm glad I did it when I did. I have some UK people here. Nova Scotia, wow. Oklahoma City, Kansas City. Disaster. That's funny. Connecticut, Canada, Scotland, Hootman, and Finland, Chile. It's Chile, right? Not Chile. Chile? And New York, Vienna, Moorhead, Kentucky, around the world. Bye-bye, Brazil. Brazil. I've been to Sao Paulo. Ireland, Memphis, Atlanta. Dominican Republic, New Hampshire. Right around the corner. New Hampshire, Brazil. St. Charles, Illinois, Chi-Town, California, Wisconsin, Ireland. Belgium, Australia. I watched the whole thing. Thanks so much, Josh, for watching the whole thing. Oklahoma City, the depths of hell. I'll see you there at some point, bro. Germany, Portugal, Southern Pines, North Carolina. Thanks so much. Catch you on the next one. Thank you, man. I will. I'm looking forward to it. UK, Wales, in the middle of freaking nowhere in Oklahoma. Oklahoma, yeah. Oh, thanks so much, Pablo. Switzerland, wow. Wow, all over the place. State of confusion, state of denial. I've been in both of those states, actually. I've resided there for many years. How do you feel about episode? We'll have to wait for the next episode for that one. Eating, yeah. Timbuktu. You know, we still have snow lumps. We do. It's been in the 80s and 90s, and we still have snow piles. That's how much snow we had. Thanks, Steven Spencer. You the man. North Georgia boonies. Nice. No, I'm going to say North. Thanks, BC Bell. Oklahoma. That's what we would say, too. Oklahoma. Alabama, thanks so much, man. Angelina Jolie from Mars. I knew you were from Mars. I knew it. Hopefully next Saturday. Maybe we'll do it every Saturday, every other Saturday. We'll see. Man, are you doing time in your basement? Well, right now I am. For now. But I'm about to go up and make a coffee, but I really appreciate everyone stopping by. North Pole. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks. Loopy Rain. Real name Santa. Thanks, Graham. Thanks, Triple B. 2001. Later, man. Charlotte, North Carolina. Narnia. Sweet. I've always wanted to go there, but I just don't have a closet. Buffalo, Minnesota. I would have said Buffalo, New York. It's a good thing you put the MN on there. Next time, chips and salsa. Yeah, that might be a bad idea. Tumbleweeds in Cali, yeah. We're pretty dry up here, too. We're way below our normal. York County, South Carolina. Peace, man. Thanks, Ricky. North Carolina, thanks so much, man. Can't be every Saturday, right? If my kids are locked up, exactly. They'll be like... I was joking with them earlier today. I said, well, if it goes well, we'll do it every Saturday night. And they were all like, no! They're all mad at me because I made them go. Because if they walk around down here, you'll hear it. Twin Cities, Minnesota. As always, rock on, James. I have to go. Peace out from Australia. Oh, man. Have a great day there in Australia. It's a Sunday there right now. It's still Saturday here. Have the wife and the kids next episode. We'll see. My kids do want to do it, but right now I'm telling them no. Bathroom. Bono sign, I love you. Do a 24-hour live show. I don't know if I could even do that. I don't know if I could do a 4-hour live show. Lisbon, Portugal. Nice. Thanks so much for stopping by. Mordor. I've been wanting to visit there, but I've heard bad things. Play an awesome outro. All right. Nova Scotia, Canada. Kassel, Germany. UK, New Jersey, Sao Paulo. Yeah, see? You're right. Next time, no diapers, no breaks. Exactly. All right, guys. As always, thanks for stopping by and rock on.